The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's a wonderful Wednesday edition of Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, and the SWBC studios. Welcome in, everybody. The Cowboys currently on the week before the week one matchup. Is this week 0 in the NFL? Whatever it is,
0.
It's a ramp-up week.
Call it week 0 because college football is back. So week 0.
Yeah, week 0.
Week 0.
Yeah. So it's week 0 for the Cowboys. They're getting ready to take on the Philadelphia Eagles in week 1. We've got Patrik Walker,
Yes,
Josh Rodriguez, Tommy Yarrish, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. So glad you're with us.
Hi, Kyle.
Loaded show today. Hello. Can't wait to have this. We're going to play a little game here coming up in the second and the third segments where it's rating each position group like it's Madden. So we're gonna play rate this position, and I feel like there needs to be like some theme music in the background. Let's play rate this position.
I like it. Yeah.
Ding, 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 or whatever. That was Mario, but the on accident. You tell where my mind is.
It's a copyright. Like we're gonna get copyright stricken for that.
Thanks.
It'll be underneath it on the YouTube channel.
Well, now that tune is going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. Thanks, Kyle.
Well, maybe that's the official tune of name or rate that position. But yeah, we've got a lot to break down in terms of roster cuts as well. The roster cut is done with. Patrik, good to have you back today.
Good to be back.
Feels like it's been a minute.
Not really.
Been a little.
Yeah, a couple episodes.
Have you been on since we've been back at?
Yeah.
Like in
absolutely.
Frisco?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think just the one.
It was just the one. Just
yeah.
the one. Just the
See,
one.
that's wild though.
Yeah.
We've been back from Oxnard for a little bit.
Yeah, just the one. And then yesterday's. But so, I mean, I was out of state celebrating my princess's 13th birthday.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I don't like it. So, but good thing is, I mean, obviously she had a fantastic time. She got all the gifts she wanted and then some. She got to do everything she wanted and then some. Kind of bittersweet because, like I said, you love to be able to be in position to, bless and spoil your kids the way that I've been able to do. But this is my baby girl, and her turning 13 really grinds my gears. So I love seeing her grow up into such a beautiful, respectful, and just ambitious and intelligent young lady. But I miss my baby.
I felt the same way when Tommy turned 13
Thanks, Dad.
last month.
Thank you, Dad. Yeah, no,
When you
No, that's
turned
good.
growing up sticks.
No, that's good. Not gonna lie, he cooked on that one.
Growing up
That's good.
Man, I'm sorry, Dad. I wish I could turn the clock back.
All those days, baby.
Good old
All
days,
those
man.
days.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Grandpa.
Oh, man. That's Grandpa Beamer in the back.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Oh,
Appreciate
brother.
it.
Woo, we are so back.
Oh, glad you're with us here on this wonderful
Yes, sir.
Wednesday.
Oh, man.
Hate to bring the mood down.
Aw.
There were some cuts.
There were.
There were some cuts. I'm going to read through the list, and then we're going to kind of hit it. When it comes to the cut list for the Cowboys, remember there's a difference between released and waived.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. Released means you can sign with any NFL program all the way through, and you can do so immediately, whereas waived, you have to pass through waivers, which then happens today, and then you can be added to the practice squads, and they can fill in from those released guys too. So just because they're released doesn't mean they're gone entirely. The waived guys are guys that Dallas is kind of hoping to hold on to.
Right.
All right. Let's start with the released. These are guys that were straight up released. Hakeem Adeniji, Ernest Brown, Sadiq Charles, Jerron Christian, C.J. Goodwin, Will Greer, Keemon Hall, Darius Harris, Buddy Johnson, Israel Mukwamu, Michael Ojemudia, and Robert Rochelle. Those were the released members of the Cowboys. The waived members, Tommy Akingbasote, Justin Barron, Jalen Brooks, Elijah Clark, Jalen Cropper, Malik Davis, Rivaldo Fairweather, which I think was kind of an interesting one, Princeton Fant, same thing, Trayshawn Holden, who I know a lot of people wanted to hold on to, Mike Smith, Deuce Vaughn, Tyrus Wheat.
That felt like a bar. You did that on purpose.
What's that?
Holding a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
Hold on to.
Yeah,
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that people
You could
caught
tell
the
by
heat.
the inflection of
Yeah, I
the
wanted to
voice.
make sure that people
he's
caught the heat
Thank you.
that Kyle dropped.
Thank
Nice,
you.
Nice.
such a host.
I know. The reserved injured DFR, 2 players are able to go on that list, and this year it was Jonathan Mingo and Peyton Turner. Then reserve/pup, Josh Butler, DeMarvion Overshone. Reserve NFI is Savone Revel, of course, the rookie out of East Carolina. One guy was traded. Awesome Richards got traded to New Orleans Saints.
He did.
Flipped a 6th and a 7th. It's not like a major deal. You get a 6th, you give a 7th, you flip rounds, and then you send them Awesome Richards.
It's also not until 2028.
It's 3 years
There's
down the
also that.
road. We're gonna look back at 2028, and we're getting ready for the draft show in like March of that year, and be like, why don't we have a 7th round pick again?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was the Awesome
It was
Richards,
Richards
deal.
trade.
Yeah, and so a little bit different. Sad to see him go, but I see why. He didn't play very well this offseason.
No, he did not.
And it's nice to see us get some value out of him.
Finally.
We haven't had a lot of movement in terms of trades since before training camp, so it's nice to see.
This looks like the snail movement. Like, it's movement. Don't get me wrong.
It's movement.
But it's just like a little inch.
But how can you come out of yesterday not liking what the Cowboys did? I mean, I understand. There are a lot of names on that list that you just mentioned that are like, a few pen throws in there. But I think overall, the guys that you keep, I think it's very indicative of what Brian Schottenheimer's been preaching this whole time is, competing every day. And the guys that have competed the most are on your 53.
I mean, I'll add this as far as the Awesome Richards trade is concerned. I mean, so often Cowboys fans are like, well, if you knew you were going to release or waive this guy, why not try to get some type of value for him? Well, the Cowboys were able to do that with Awesome Richards. So, there's progress in that aspect. And it's like Josh says, when you look at this the initial 53-man roster, keyword being initial, because I know a lot of people were saying it's the final. No, it is not the final. There's still a lot of dust to be settled, a lot of smoke that needs to clear. You're going to have guys like C.J. Goodwin. He tells me he's coming back, which is an annual tradition, releasing C.J. Goodwin and then seeing him come back. So they still have some roster moves to make over the next 24, 48, even 72 hours. Practice squad needs to be built. But I like where things are, especially being that they kept Josh's guy Perion on board because he was about to have a cardiac.
Congrats, dude.
I am so elated.
Oh, if you guys could have seen the text thread when I dropped that news in that Perion Winfrey might be out, Josh is like, no.
Well,
and then I was like, okay, he's still here. He was like, yeah.
From a news cycle standpoint, he was out. He was totally out. Remember, even Brian Schottenheimer talked about it yesterday, Tommy, that he walked in and he anticipated being cut because the news was already out.
Y'all saw how I was celebrating
That's
Perion
awesome.
Winfrey making it to the 53. That's how we do it.
That's so good.
I thought this was Paul Wall for a minute. Instead, it's Josh.
Josh Wall 2.0.
Josh Wall. Yeah, that is great.
Josh Wall.
You put on some glasses and go the Mexican OT.
We talked about it yesterday, though. It was going to be Ernest Brown or Perion Winfrey, and it ended up being that. And I think Brown is a guy that they hope to get back to the practice squad. But Perion Winfrey making this team is significant because it's another USFL/UFL pickup that you've been able to add to this roster and have some impact with.
And a guy you genuinely did not want to lose for whatever reason. And you understand,
Well, it's not for whatever reason. It's for good reason.
No, you didn't want to lose him for, keeping guys that you've invested more time in that have not performed as well as Perion Winfrey. That, I think, would have been a mistake, and they did not make that mistake. And even the press conference alluded to that too when Brian Schottenheimer was talking about the process of going through all of these cuts and then telling Perion Winfrey to his face, it's like, this is a tough day, but I'm so glad I'm here to tell you that you've made the squad, and getting emotional about it. Perion Winfrey getting emotional about it. He posted on Twitter celebrating with his family. Like, you love to see that from a guy that he said had the game ripped away from him to come back and make this squad after an impressive preseason, impressive camp. You genuinely love to see it.
And I think with the defensive tackle group, I think that last spot came down to, okay, Perion Winfrey and Ernest Brown was a guy that this staff really likes. And they're just kind of weighing the two of those guys. And I think it maybe came down to, hey, who's maybe the guy that we can get onto the practice squad? Who's the guy that doesn't have as much noise around him that's going to go not get claimed on waivers, and we can just kind of look at him here the following day. So I would expect Ernest Brown to be one of those guys. They really like him if he clears waivers, and so I think he's back. But no, I mean, Josh is right. Perion Winfrey was probably their best defensive tackle in the preseason. Is that too rash to say?
No, not at all.
I think in a game setting, I think he was the best one. So, you know, when you've got and we've talked at depth, and I've talked especially about how, hey, this defensive tackle room is very concerning because there's not a lot of depth there. I'm not necessarily saying that Perion Winfrey's like, oh, problem
We're
solved.
good.
No, absolutely not. But
I'm glad you said that.
He has been a pleasant surprise in terms of when he came in, you just didn't really know, and then you see him on the practice field, and it's like, okay, this guy's pretty big. Like, you know, this might be something here, and he starts playing well. But I'm not saying this is the end all be all or the problem fixer ever, right? Perion Winfrey has the chance to be a good player, but he's not going to start.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to be a guy that you hope when he gets snaps makes the most out of him and comes through for you. And still, you know, I'm still concerned about the defensive tackle room, but congratulations to him. That video where he was holding his kid,
Yeah.
he was like, "We're going to beat the Eagles and then we're going to beat the Giants." that was cool to see. It's a tough day for a lot of guys around the NFL, and rightfully so. But there are some feel-good stories there too, and you know, stuff like that is always nice to see.
For me, I just wasn't as close in the Perion Winfrey versus Ernest Brown discussion as I know the Cowboys coaching staff was, because when
They were very close.
Yeah, when we sat here and we did the mock draft, not mock draft, I'm sorry,
The mock 53.
Right, you got me thinking draft because you Asa Richards in.
You know. 2028, it's coming up quicker than you think.
It's gonna be right now. But
Tune in, Dallas Cowboys.
then my daughter be 16. Stop it. Stop it.
So will Tommy.
No.
Catching smoke all day, man. I'm sorry,
Bang.
Tommy.
Bang.
We love you, Tommy.
Coming up. It's coming up. I can almost drive a car.
That was so good.
Kyle has to stop dropping me off at work.
It was so good.
Did you bring your backpack today?
I did, yeah.
Okay, good.
Backpack, yeah. So I had
you pack
Perion
my lunch?
Winfrey.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had Perion making my 53, and I remember Kyle asking for the counterpoint as far as why not Ernest Brown.
Yeah.
And I sat here and I was very firm in the fact that I saw much more from Perion Winfrey than I saw from Ernest Brown in the preseason. There were times where, you know, Perion would come in and he would flash, and then Ernest Brown would come in and kind of get walked out of his spot on more than one occasion. Now, that's not to say that he can't develop if he is to return on the practice squad or something like that, which, like you said, and I agree, the Cowboys are going to hope to try to get him back on the practice squad. But I cannot stress enough how glad I am to see that they have Perion on this roster, because again, I'm with Tommy on this. I don't think the defensive tackle position is solved at nose tackle. I think you're perfectly fine with Osa and Solomon at 3 tech, but at 1 tech, when you hear Shoddy being as definitive as he is in his commentary about Mozzie Smith, saying we need more consistency. We don't care that you're a first-round pick. We want the consistency. That tells me that he is very aware of the fact that they need better play at 1 tech.
We got to get ready for a scenario where they just don't have one.
They don't have a 1 tech?
No.
Do you have one other than Jay Toia on this roster?
No.
Like a true, absolute, built to play the position 1 tech?
No, I don't think so. And I don't think it's necessarily you always want a guy that can plug up the middle, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about what Matt Eberflus's scheme looks like in the attack front and things like that, if you're going to attack, you don't think 1 tech and think attack very much. There are guys who can do it. Sure, you can look around the league and say, all right, this guy's going to get up the field and he can, make a play in the backfield or maybe even get to the quarterback. But I think you may have to look at a scenario just because of how the roster shakes out where they just don't really have a 1 tech or they don't use one a lot.
Can I throw a
and
name
they
out
hope
there?
that – what's that?
CJ
Is it a guy
Okoye.
that – what was that?
CJ Okoye.
From the
Ravens that just got released?
waived.
Correct. Because, and I'll confirm this because rumor has it he might qualify for the IPP, the International Pathway Program, because he's born in Nigeria. So
He would be number 91. They did release Denzel Daxon.
Well, now because they released Denzel Daxon, if they don't bring Daxon back, but they choose to, bring in Okoye, if he still qualifies for the IPP exemption, then he would be the +1 on the 16-man practice squad if they sign him to the practice squad. So that would be your 17-man practice squad there, and you'd get 3 elevations out of him. It will buy you time to figure out, how much. If you're going to allow Mozzie the entirety of the year, whatever the case may be. So it's an angle to be played there.
Yeah, it's an angle to be played, and I've seen Okoye pop up, and I think the Cowboys at defensive tackle right now, options are better than the. Go ahead.
Well, just measurables. For those that don't know, just released by the Ravens. He's 6'6", 370 pounds.
Is that large?
That arguably, that's pretty large.
Arguably.
In some circles, sources say that's a big dude.
In some solar systems, that's a big dude. Not just circles. In some solar systems.
They say I'm the biggest, the largest.
Shouts out to Big X.
Big X.
You know what? There's your strategy. Get Big X the plug and just put him there.
Plug him
and
right
literally
in.
have him plug the
right there.
the offensive
Right there.
line. No,
Levels. Levels.
I think it's interesting though because I think back to the preseason and sometimes and this might have just been them preseason experimenting or things like that, but there would be a defensive front where there's no defensive tackles and 4 defensive ends, and they're just getting after the passer. I wonder if that's something that we're actually going to see. At Texas, they do it, and it's called a NASCAR package where they put 4 defensive ends on the field. Now, they still have 2 defensive tackles out there more than likely. So essentially, you're kind of playing nickel, but for the defensive line, if that makes sense. So
it's like a rover position.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they do that, what does that look like? If they get Micah Parsons back, that could be really successful. But if you run the ball against that, you're probably going to pick up 10 to 15 yards.
What's the trade-off? The trade-off is basically parting the Red Sea.
Right. If you're playing,
hand the ball up.
if you play a veteran quarterback, it's check. You run a draw, and it's game over. So I think we just need to prepare for that reality where, hey, does this team not have necessarily a true one tech that's going to plug up the middle of the defensive line consistency?
Yeah, that's some of the question marks. And you mentioned the word playoff, or excuse me, preseason experiment. Yeah, we're not talking playoffs quite yet.
Come on, Kyle.
Got a long way to
It's
go.
week 0, dude. What are you doing?
Chat's going to go crazy now.
Preseason experiments, and that I think those two things together, when it comes to the defensive line, are that's a hot button topic for anybody that listens about the Dallas Cowboys, because they're done with experiments when it comes to defensive tackle. But that's just what it's going to continue to be until you find a solidified person. Okoye, I like the idea because it's a big body. He's experienced. He's played in NFL games.
What does it hurt?
What does it hurt
Exactly
to try and kick the tires, see what happens if he's available? Let's at least give it a look,
especially if it's.
But again, just like Tommy said about Perion Winfrey, is that the be all end all? We're done. It's a guy that just got released by the Ravens. Are we going to be okay with our defensive tackle room? Probably not. It's just another name.
There's a reason he was waived in the first place.
Correct. Not to sound like Mickey Spagnola, but that's exactly what Mickey.
What's he doing out there?
Well, why is he available now? And so he is available now. Maybe the Cowboys kick the tires. Maybe they don't. Before we move on to our next segment, what kind of roster Olympics, Patrick, can we expect out of that group? Because there's a couple things that are going to happen.
There are. I mentioned it earlier. CJ Goodwin, he told me after the but the most recent practice this week, he said, hey, no C, just so you know, procedural, as always, I plan to be back. So expect CJ Goodwin back on the active roster, not the practice squad, but the active
He'll be
roster.
playing week 1.
Right. You're also likely going to see, as early as today, 2 players get moved to injured reserve. One will likely be Phil Maffa, and the other will be Kalen Carson. Those are the 2 expectations.
And those are designated to return.
Well, you don't have to. So the way it works is, because I know some fans are going to say, well, why did they DTR Peyton Turner and Jonathan Mingo, but not Kalen Carson? It's because you can only designate two to return prior to the roster cutdowns. You have to carry Phil Maffa and Kalen Carson for at least 1 day on the active roster and then move them to IR unless you want to end their season. Gotcha. So they cannot start this go to IR pre-cut down. Otherwise, they were not permitted to return because you've already DTR'd Peyton Turner and Jonathan Mingo. So expect to see Kalen Carson and Phil Maffa go to injured reserve. That will allow them to return as early as week 5, depending on how their injuries go. That's going to free up 2 roster spots. One is going to go to CJ Goodwin. I hear rumors that the other might go to Hakeem Adeniji. We'll see if that holds true.
Best veteran can be one of those guys.
Yeah, we'll see if that holds true.
But
the Cowboys, but the Cowboys are also, and Shadi referenced it yesterday, they are scouring the waiver wire today. They're number 12 in the waiver wire
open
order.
For business.
They're open for business was his quote, his exact quote. They're going to put in several claims, and they're going to see what happens. Now, keep in mind, anyone that's claimed successfully by the Cowboys has to go to the active roster. So we may not see what the quote-unquote final roster is, what I should say, the week 1 depth chart. We may not know what the week 1 depth chart looks like probably until later this week as far as the quasi-finality of it. But there are going to be
the numbers per position.
Exactly. There are going to be some gymnastics going on there, absolutely.
Good to keep an eye on, and you can keep up with all those moves on DallasCowboys.com throughout the week. When we come back, we're going to talk about each of these positions. We're going to give a grade, overall position grade like it's Madden. And then I need the YouTube comments to really ramp it up here over the next 40 minutes or so. Maybe less for Beamer. More like 25 minutes. I need you to ramp it up because I need you guys to be the judges of these different grades. And I'm going to tell you how when we come back with more Talking Cowboys right after this.
AT&T has a new guarantee because most things in life are not guaranteed. Like getting through self-checkout by yourself.
Warning, each item must be placed in the bagging area.
Not guaranteed.
Place item in the bagging area. Place item in the bagging area.
You know what AT&T guarantees? Connectivity you depend on, deals you want, and service you deserve. Or we make it right. Terms and conditions apply. Visit att.com/guarantee for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united. If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
As America's leading business lender, Bank of America is on your corner and in your corner. With over $9 billion in business loans and more than 140 business specialists right here in North Texas, we help businesses thrive so communities prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Welcome back to Talking Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. Right. This segment is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys, with Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. And then we've got Tommy Yarrish.
Getting all choked up over.
Yeah, sorry, guys. We've got Tommy Yarrish, who's been the subject of some scrutiny here over the first 4 minutes of the show. Jeremy.
I'm texting my teacher to make sure that I didn't miss my homework from last night. So
where's your hall pass, Tom?
No, well, I had to finish filling out the 6th grade coloring book for art class today,
Oh, good.
So.
I'm glad.
Are you on lunch A or B?
B.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, B.
He's not cool enough.
He's not. I was about to say you're not cool enough to be on A lunch, huh?
Jeremy wins our comment of the day, and it's not even really close at the moment. Jeremy goes, Kyle has more facial hair, or has more kids than Tommy has facial hair.
Oh,
That's really good, man.
Bang!
That's really good.
That one gets us both.
Tip of the cap.
Yeah,
Tip of
Kyle
the
has
cap.
more kids than Tommy has facial hairs.
Tip of
Good
the
job,
cap.
Jeremy. I am keeping score, by the way, for comments of the day. So this is going to go all the way through
Comment
the year.
of the year needs to be a thing.
Correct. It'll be commenter of the year.
Oh, my.
Comment of the year.
I'm saving all of them. I'm saving them
like
all.
it
The
a
ones
lot.
that win, I'm documenting. I'm keeping it. And we will be back after week 17 or after the Super Bowl. Whenever this thing ends, we'll be right back there to hit it at the end of the year. I need the YouTube comments here in this segment, though, because we're going to do this is a kind of a newer thing. I want to rank rate each position group on this Cowboys roster, and I want each person to give their ranking, and then I want you guys on the YouTube comments to vote who you feel like is the closest based off of their ranking. And they may end up being the same, but just keep that in mind as you're voting.
Question
Yes.
for the rating system, because I want to get this down. I want to have a key for everybody at home. You're saying Madden rating system, but
Madden rating.
but players are rated, 1 through
99.
99.
Yep.
But position groups I wouldn't say position groups, but I guess
Because we're rating position groups, right?
We are
1 through
rating
99.
position groups.
do you want that A through F?
1 through
No,
99.
1 through
1 through
99.
99. Okay.
Yeah. So good question. I'm going to give you each position group. We'll go in order: quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers.
average.
And I want you to tell me what you would rate this group if it was a group in Madden.
Okay.
If it was a 1 through 99 rating as a team group in Madden. And then we'll talk about where that could relate at the end of the podcast. We're going to start with the offense in this segment. I want to start with the quarterbacks. That's a pretty easy one. You've got two guys on that list right now, and that's Dak Prescott, and that's Joe Milton. Of course, we'll see what happens in the open market. We'll see what happens on the free agency side of things. Tommy, I'll let you start. Dak Prescott and Joe Milton.
Go 84.
84.
84 for the quarterback room. I think, Dak Prescott, he has shown you that he can be an elite quarterback in this league, and I feel like he is a good quarterback in this league, but we don't know what he's going to be this year. Year 10, coming off another major injury. He's been injured 3 out of the last 5 years, and so you just kind of don't know. I'm not saying Dak Prescott's going to have a bad season. I think he's going to play very well, and he's got, one of the best, if not the best, surrounding cast of skill talent that he's had during his time in Dallas, but there's still a lot of uncertainty there, and then Joe Milton might be the textbook definition of uncertainty, or maybe that's not even the right word. It might just be, the guy still needs to play. He needs to play. He needs the reps, and I think you saw flashes of what he can be in that third and final preseason game, but you also have to put the reality goggles on and say, look, this was against the Falcons, backups, third stringers, and sure, Joe Milton was playing with the Cowboys backups and third stringers, but nonetheless, it's a guy who needs to play and needs experience. So we'll see what happens this year, but I think 84 is a fair rating.
What I like about that is that Dak Prescott's Madden rating is an 84 exactly.
Oh, is it really?
Which means that you just anticipate no Joe Milton all year long, which I'm cool with. Cool with it.
I think they certainly hope so.
They hope that's the case.
They hope that's the case.
So it's a simple math equation, man. It's science, if you will. Everybody knows here that I'm the science guy. Everybody knows I'm the science guy.
Relax, Bill Nye.
So 89 plus 68.
Yes, science.
There it is, Beard.
Averages out about to 78.5.
78.5. Okay.
Quarterback room.
That's where you're at?
That's where I'm at.
I'm landing squarely on 80. And for me, it's obviously Dak carries. Dak has proven that he can be a lead horse in the NFL MVP conversation. Mm-hmm. He's proven that he can operate at an all-pro level. He's proven that he can operate at a record-setting level. But he is coming off of a major injury. He has had some availability issues. Cowboys need him to stay on the field the entirety of the season. If for whatever reason he misses a game or two, I have no clue what I have in Joe Milton. I'm going to go ahead and give that young man his flowers for one hell of a bounce-back game in the preseason finale, but that's one game versus the previous 2 games, which is he flunked both of those games, in my opinion. I don't know, and to Tommy's point, as far as Joe Milton having this bounce-back game against the backups to the backups, I don't know that if Joe Milton, and this is just objectively speaking, I don't know that if he's sent up against an NFC East rival because Dak is not available that particular week against their starters, that he can get that job done. I just don't know. So for me, it's funny that you say Dak's rating is 84.
Yeah.
We'll bring the group down to an 80 because I don't know what I have in Joe Milton if Dak misses a game or two.
Okay, so you have 80. You or Patrick has 80. Josh has 78.5, 78. And then Tommy has 84. Rate who and vote on who you feel like has the closest rating to what you would have overall.
What about you?
I'm going to skip because we need to be quick. Running backs. I'll let Josh start on this one.
That one's tough. Outside looking in,
Remember,
trying
they
to be
kept 5.
as objective as possible. I'm going with a 74 running back situation.
Me and you.
Where'd you get?
Right?
75.
75. Okay.
75.
Because you had Sanders, Williams, Blue, and then Maffa and Lipke did make the roster. Maffa's expected to go to IR.
Expectedly.
And as of right now, in this moment, preseason not be included in this unproven guys. We don't know what this is going to look like right now.
Tommy?
70.
Okay, so a little bit lower.
Yeah, I'm not as high on this group.
From 69.
I think you've got veteran guys in there that the last couple of years haven't really done a lot to give you a ton of confidence. You've got young guys like Jaden Blue who can take the top off of defense and kind of hit that second gear, but overall a lot of unprovenness and a lot of guys needing bounce backs and career resurgence, and that's just not something that you really want to bank on if you don't have to.
Yeah, and there are some ratings in the chat currently that are even lower than that. I mean, We Dem Boys says if Sanders gets more snaps than Blue does, then 60. 65 I've seen pop up. I mean, there's not a whole lot of confidence in this.
Why would there be?
I don't have any.
It would be.
I think I would be closer to Tommy. I think I'd be like 68 or 70.
I think it would be silly to be overly confident about the running back room right now.
Yeah.
Because you saw how it was last year, and you haven't seen these guys play with this offensive line practice is one thing, but we're talking about live reps here, and we just we don't have the evidence.
Not a game.
Not a game.
We're talking about practice. All right, moving on to wide receivers. Oh, by the way, so 75 for Patrick, 74 for Josh, and 70 for Tommy Yarrish. Wide receivers, they kept, of course, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jalen Tolbert, Kavontae Turpin, Ryan Flanoy. Those guys are pretty solidified. Those are your 5 you feel pretty good about. Patrick, I'll let you start.
96.
Ooh.
This is
you feel good.
CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, first and foremost. You can stop right there because to me, you're talking like CeeDee Lamb. I'll say CeeDee Lamb is a 98. Okay, let's say CeeDee Lamb is a 98. Let's say George Pickens is a 95 to me, give or take, right?
To you.
To me.
I don't know what he is on Madden. Give me 2. Oh, he's an 83 on Madden.
Nah, stop it.
I don't know about
but
that.
you know what? I'll split.
Keep him under the radar.
I'll split the difference. Let's say CeeDee Lamb is a 98. Let's say George Pickens is a 90. Okay? CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. I love that they agreed with me on Ryan Flanoy. I love that. I think that Ryan Flanoy has an extremely high ceiling, and I think that will begin to show itself as early as this year. Kavontae Turpin, you got to have Kavontae Turpin on the roster, and if they can get Kavontae Turpin more involved, not just in the running back position, but in targets down the field and quick slants, get him out in space as a wide receiver. He can do some damage. And Jalen Tolbert, you know what you have in Jalen Tolbert, so that's pretty much that. So I'm going, 96?
Yeah.
I'm going 96 because it's top heavy. Lamb, Pickens, Turpin, and I love the potential on Flanoy. So, yeah, I'm going 96.
My average is 80.
Wow.
My average is 80. But I think it's the guys that you have under Kavontae Turpin. I mean, obviously, for me, your top 3 guys are CeeDee, George Pickens, Kavontae Turpin. And Kavontae is not necessarily proven as a wide receiver. He's proven because of his speed and his playmaking ability, right? Jalen Tolbert, I've been honest that I don't think that he's bringing enough to the offensive scheme currently. He obviously knows it very well. He has great chemistry with Dak Prescott. He scored the most touchdowns of any receiver last year. So you have to take that into account. But I just don't think that the depth is as great as we want it to be. And if you're considering, God forbid something happens to either CeeDee or George Pickens, I think you're kind of back to square one as far as not getting guys open, not having that same chemistry that you've been having all offseason. It really hinges on your top 2 guys right now. We're top heavy.
I think that's when Flo steps in and you start to really see some things.
And I hope so. And I think Flo's proven that. I thought Jalen Brooks proved it too.
Okay.
But here we are with
he's
Jalen
out
Tolbert.
For now.
89. 89. I think, both of you guys made a good point. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, that has a chance to be one of the best tandems in the NFL this year. After that, I don't know, Jim.
Exactly.
Jalen Tolbert did not have a good camp and did not have a good preseason, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think it was great at all. Kevontae Turpin, they want to get him the ball a lot more as a receiver. You don't really know if he's a guy you can count on as your third or even fourth option. And then Ryan Flanoy is, he had a really good camp. I thought he did really well, but this is a guy who made the team because of his ability as a gunner on special teams. And don't get me wrong, that's important.
Yeah.
But, can this guy go out and play for you if you need him to? I think he could. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be your best receiver, of course, but overall, I think top heavy is the right word because those first two guys are going to put some fear into opposing defenses.
Absolutely.
But after that, it's you aren't really sure. You aren't really sure.
Okay, so you were 96, 80. This is the biggest discrepancy we've had so far. 96, 80
Those
for
top
Josh.
two are crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to give my opinion here because I want the chat to give theirs first. And then Tommy said an 89. So Patrick 96, Josh 80, Tommy 89. Pick your winner in the chat. I'm going to give you guys a choice here. Mm-hmm. We can either go like speedy, quick, rapid round on tight end and offensive line. Yes. Or we can do tight end, offensive line in depth, and then do defense tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do that.
You want to do that?
Yep.
Let's take our second break here. When we come back, we'll hit the rest of the offense. And then if you like this game, come back tomorrow. We've got the defensive side of the ball.
We're here all week.
We're here all week, baby, because we are back on Talkin' Cowboys.
From here until February, if you know what I mean, dude.
Right after this.
AT&T has a new guarantee because most things in life are not guaranteed, like getting through self-checkout by yourself.
Warning, each item must be placed in the bagging area.
Not guaranteed.
Place item in the bagging area. Place item in the bagging area.
You know what AT&T guarantees? Connectivity you depend on, deals you want, and service you deserve. Or we make it right. Terms and conditions apply. Visit att.com/guarantee for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time, but what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code Cowboys VIP.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. Quick shout out to the YouTube chat. You guys are doing awesome right now.
Fantastic.
You guys are super engaged. This is incredible. Keep at it.
Stay locked in.
We've got a little bit to go here, and then we're going to hit the defense on this Rate That position tomorrow. So keep that in mind. All right. Let's go to the tight end position. This one.
Smash the subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash it.
Like, subscribe, comment.
Sorry, it's been a while since our last video, guys. I went to college and had 4 years. That whole thing. It's been a while since the last video. We got some stuff going on. Thank you guys for coming out. Oh,
That's really good.
That was good.
That was spectacular.
The YouTube. Gotta love.
Tactical nuke on that subscribe button.
Welcome back to our 100 subscriber special.
All right. Going into tight end position. Cowboys keep 3 tight ends on the roster for now. I think this is probably the group, right?
This is the group.
Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, Brevin Spanford.
I know, Jim.
I know they cut a couple guys that we liked. Princeton Fant.
This is the active roster group.
Rivaldo Fairweather. They'll probably be paid
Rivaldo!
back.
He needs to be our new
Rico.
Our new Rico.
Play the music, Beamer.
He's got to pull it up. It's gonna
take a minute. All right, Tommy, it's your turn to start it.
Tight ends, I'll go with 76 because I think that Jake Ferguson having Dak Prescott back is going to be big, and I think you could see similar production to what you saw in 2023 out of him. Outside of that, I think Luke Schoonmaker was better last year, but at the same time, I think he was set up in a position to where he really had to be because, Ferguson was out for some of it and Dak Prescott's out. So, so there were some situations where I feel like he was just put in a good spot and he took advantage of the opportunity, which is what you want to see. But I don't think he has still been what everyone hoped he would be, which is kind of, do they feel confident enough to go 12 personnel with him out there? And I think they can, but I think I still like Brevin Spanford a lot, man. I think this kid has a lot of upside, and I think he can really be one of the better tight ends in the room and push for that second spot. I think if you are going to go 12, you put him in line and put Ferguson next to him and let him go be a receiving guy because Spanford's hands are still coming along, took a step in the right direction before the injury. But overall, yeah, I think you're still a little hesitant, and you got to see what Jake Ferguson has and see how Spanford reacts.
And what was your number again?
76.
76. All right. Patrick?
74. I'm sorry. 74. My bad.
I'm with Melvin in the comments on this one. I'm slamming the hopium for Jake Ferguson improvement. I'm right there with you, Melvin. So I'm going to go with not going to go too high here overall. Let's go with an 81. I'm going with 81. I believe that Jake Ferguson does have a bounce back year. I wonder what that looks like, though, with George Pickens in the mix because there's only so many targets to go around. If you want to be the quote-unquote balanced team that Shoddy and Dak continue to say that they will be, that means you're going to hand off the ball a good number of times. So what does Jake's targets look like? So I do think he takes full advantage of those targets. I think he has a bounce back year. Luke Schoonmaker, he took some strides in the absence of Jake last year because of Jake's injuries, the knee sprain, the concussion. Saw some strides from Luke Schoonmaker. I'm not prepared to say this is going to be a breakout year for Schoonmaker, though. And Brevin Spanford, agree with Tommy. High ceiling, very high ceiling on that young man, but still some development to be had with his hands. The size is there, the athleticism is there, the ability to block in line is there, but I need to see more from him as far as the receiving ability goes. I've seen him take steps last year in that capacity, but when you combine those needs for development with Schoonmaker, I want to see him take some more strides as he did last year. Jake is obviously carrying the room, which is of no surprise to anyone.
Yeah.
But I think he carries it to an 81.
That is his rating on Madden.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's an 81. And then I'll tell you the other two after Josh, you give your number.
My number collectively for the tight end position group is going to be, I need you to write this down.
Got it.
It is going to be 73.
73.33. 33.
333.
333.
33.
33. Got it.
And
4. No, I'm just kidding.
No. It's just a lot of threes. My stance on this, I actually agree with Madden in that I think Jake Ferguson's rating is an 81. The more confidence that he gets with Dak, the chemistry that they already have, obviously, that seam throw, all of those things, I think he can get as high as an 84, 85, depending on how he starts rolling this season. The guys under him, though, I just am not seeing enough there. I mean, Luke Schoonmaker, we've talked about how he's had a nice camp, but, is he a guy that you can really lean on? And if Jake Ferguson, for whatever reason, is not in the mix, are you, is that an actual target for you? Is that a threat to opposing defenses?
Yeah.
I'm just not seeing it.
You're down to a safety.
I think what you saw from a Rivaldo Fairweather was impressive. I thought that his athletic ability is something that you don't necessarily have in the tight end room right now. It's surprising to me that you would waive a guy with those traits. And granted, hopefully he gets to the practice squad, but I just don't know that there's enough there identity-wise outside of Jake Ferguson to really, get you a passing grade. I mean, 73 is, I don't know what we're doing here.
They couldn't give you both of your guys. They gave you.
What are we doing?
They gave you Perion Winfrey. They couldn't give you Rivaldo Fairweather too.
Yeah,
at least they got you one of your guys.
But understandable because of what they're asking Schoonmaker to do and what they're asking Brevin Spann-Ford to do. I completely understand that. Yeah. That mentality, but also it's like when you have someone with the athletic ability of a Fairweather or anybody else that they can. Tyler Neville. I mean, I think you saw some good things from them. It's just a change of pace that you're not seeing.
I agree, but I also agree with Kyle because to carry 4 tight ends to get Fairweather on, you lose Perion Winfrey? Do you lose
Hunter Lipke?
Right? Do you lose Hunter Lipke? Do you lose James Houston? Right, maybe. So it's not a conversation I'm willing to have. But you're right, though. So hopefully Fairweather is back on the practice squad.
I really hope so.
The ratings for Madden, by the way, 81, 71, 64 in Ferguson, Schoonmaker, then Brevin Spann-Ford. So the numbers were Tommy 74, Patrik 81, and then Joshua 73.33333333. Give us your vote on who is closest to your thought process when it comes to the tight end room. Moving to offensive line, last one for today. This one's going to be an interesting one because you got to rate it off of your starting offensive line, but also the depth that you've got there too. And so it's not like a true average because you anticipate those guys up front playing for the majority of the snaps. Josh, I'll let you start.
Oh, man. So I'm just going to have to go with my gut here. I didn't do the math on these guys. At this point, right now, I think there's a lot of unproven things that we just simply don't know what this offensive line looks like together. The chemistry, I have not been able to see it out there in a real live, game. I mean, you've seen samples here and there. I don't know. I'm just buying time right now.
To try and find the number?
Stall tactics.
Right now, it's a 81.
Okay.
Collectively.
That's a pretty solid number.
I think it's
feel good about that.
I think it's solid. It's.
Are they the best in the NFC? No.
And I'm managing expectations at least for myself here because I feel like you have a lot of talent. Obviously, you have Tyler Smith on there.
Sure.
And I'm saying like you're going to be okay, but it's just a matter of like getting this run game going. And if the running backs are not proven to me, the offensive line with running backs are still not yet proven to me. So we have to see how that looks like.
For me, Tyler Smith is a 99. Or at least a 98. I mean, he's just an animal.
Is he on Madden?
He's going to get. They're not going to put him in a 99 club.
Oh, I know.
So
they have him as an.
You have that and Cooper Beebe. I would put Cooper Beebe at a solid 80. Okay. Those are the only two that I have confidence in at the moment. There are a lot of question marks. Tyler Guyton coming off of the struggles that he had in year one. What does he look like this time, especially now that he's returning from an injury? How soon can he get back to form? And what does that form look like as he tries to take the next step forward? Terrence Steele, can he get back to the top form that we saw pre-ACL tear? Tyler Booker looks really good in camp, looks really good in preseason. Haven't seen him yet in a regular season game. We're about to see him go against the Eagles front. We're going to see him go against the Giants front. He has to go against the Commanders front. We'll see. And then from there, it just kind of goes. TJ Bass, you know what you have in him, solid backup. Brock Hoffman, solid backup. Johnny Cornelius, he had a strong camp. Nate Thomas surged in camp. But of all the names that I just mentioned on the offensive line, you only have confidence as we sit here in two guys, Tyler Smith and Cooper Beebe. So I'm landing firmly at a 79. I'm landing at a 79.
I'd argue with Terrence Steele as far as confidence goes. I think he's had a really, really good
I think he's had he's flown under the radar. Absolutely, he has. And I know
it's fine.
Which is fine. He's won reps and he's lost reps. And that's how it goes, right? When you're going against guys like who have the talent of Donovan Ezraku and Sam Williams and Dante Fowler, but he's also walled off some of those guys. So I think Terrence Steele has a great opportunity this year to get back to form. But until this year begins, I can only go by what I'm seeing. So strong camp, potential to get back there is still there. But that 79 is being carried by Tyler Smith and Cooper Beebe, and the rest of the guys' potential is there. The trend is there. They're trending in the right direction, but they're not there yet.
Yeah.
And Tommy, I don't want to steal your time, but really quickly, if we're talking about in terms of, you want everyone to be healthy, obviously, but in terms of like priorities as far as health goes, for me it goes quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line. If this offensive line starts becoming, issues with health and you have to start adding these depth guys in there, I mean, it concerns me a bit. But as far as priorities go in health, it would
That's
be
an interesting conversation. I think I'd go quarterback, offensive line, and wide receiver.
See, I think I would probably do that order too. But either way, the offensive line is a priority
That's
in
an
that
interesting
sense.
conversation.
That is a good conversation. All right, what's your number?
72.
Wow.
I mean, here's how I look at it. Patrick put it really well. The only player you know out there right now that is going to be strong for you, for a fact, is Tyler Smith.
Mm-hmm.
You lost a first ballot Hall of Famer at right guard. And I think Tyler Booker's going to be a good player, but you lost a first ballot Hall of Famer. A lot of people forget that. Zach Martin is a
play
Hall
well
of
last
Famer.
year, though.
I understand he didn't play well last year.
Yeah.
But you have had him there to
And
where
one wheel hanging off.
yeah, exactly. To where Zach Martin has one wheel and he's still playing the way he's playing, which is better than most right guards that you will find. And again, I think Tyler Booker's going to be a good player, but who knows what we're seeing from Tyler Guyton? Who knows if Terrence Steele is finally going to get back to what he was before the injury? And then Cooper Beebe had a really good freshman year.
Yeah.
Like, can he do the same thing as a sophomore, right? Yeah. Can he do the same thing in his second year? So I think there's a lot. It's similar to a lot of the other rooms on the offense where there are a lot of unproven guys. There can be guys at the top, and that's the thing that we have said over and over again with the Cowboys. When you look at their roster and you look at the first through 10 or 15 players, they are among the best in the league in terms of 1 through 15. But it's 15 to 53 where you kind of get a little bit concerned, and you need guys to step up there. And so that's how I look at it in terms of some of these rooms. And I think offensive line has a lot to prove. They have the potential to be really good.
Yeah,
they have the potential to be really good, but we haven't played a game yet, so I can't go off potential.
Josh 81, Patrick 79, Tommy 72. Go ahead and vote really quickly in the YouTube comments, and I'll give you the winner momentarily. Our winners for each position today. You want to give me a little drum roll? For quarterback, it was Patrick No-C Walker.
Hey.
The fans agreed with Patrick. I don't remember what your number was. 80. It was right at 80.
Yeah, it was 80.
So that was the number for Patrick there. They agreed with you. Running back, they agreed with Tommy Yarrish.
Okay.
What was your number at running back?
70, I think.
I think it was 70, 72, something like that.
I think it was 70 flat.
70 flat, so 80 and 70. Wide receiver, they agreed with Patrik No-C Walker. Patrik No-C Walker, who had a 96. It was really tight. I actually had a tie between you two, and somebody broke the tie between Tommy and Pat. And Tommy had 89. Patrick had 96. Tight end, they agreed with Joshua Rodriguez.
Hey.
What was your number on tight end?
73.
73.
0.333
with the infinite.
And then the offensive line, I'm tallying it up as we go. It's currently tied between Josh and Tommy with a couple votes apiece. So we've got to go. Congratulations to both of you for winning. We'll do the defense tomorrow. We'll do the same exercise tomorrow. Appreciate you all on the YouTube channel for being super engaged and helping us decide a winner. We'll do it again back here, 9 a.m. Central Time, Thursday morning. For Patrick No-C Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Tommy Yarrish, Chris Beam in the back, I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long from Talkin Cowboys. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?